and welcome to a new video where we're going to meet a bunch of different dinosaurs. We'll learn their names and their character. They're all hiding inside this mysterious box where we can already see a big Stegosaurus looking for food in the middle of the forest. Let's see all the ones we find inside. Look, there are a bunch of different dinosaurs. The best part is that the figures come in different sizes and textures, and some, like this one, have lights in their eyes and special sounds. So we're going to learn a lot of things. And let's see which one comes out first. Well, it looks like we have a giant among giants. A super predator, well known for the large crest of spines it had all along the top of its body. It goes by the name of Spinosaurus. The Spinosaurus could reach approximately 17,000 centimeters in length as an adult. As you can see, here we can notice that it walked on all fours, although in reality, its front legs were smaller than its hind legs. Therefore, it could also walk bipedally, using only its two hind legs and putting all its weight on the back. Also, its jaw was impressive. As you can see, it was quite elongated and full of sharp teeth. It really resembles the jaw of modern crocodiles, but on a gigantic scale. Also, Spinosaurus loved to eat fish and marine animals. Therefore, it always dove into the water in search of food. We've already met the first one. Let's see which is next. We have another carnivorous dinosaur. You know what it means to be a carnivore, right? It means it ate meat. In this case, we have the great Giganotosaurus. I really like this figure because besides being big, look, it can move its back legs and front legs, which had 3 fingers with 3 strong claws, so it could eat all the meat it found. Its jaw can be opened, revealing all its sharp teeth and also the detail of its tongue. As you know, Giganotosaurus was very large. Its back legs were very big and strong. And if you notice, we can see that its whole upper back was covered with small spikes, forming a long line. Also, the sides of its head were flattened to lighten the weight of its skull. Impressive! I really like it. Another one over here. Let's continue with a different one. Over here, I see a much smaller figure. And also, it's not a dinosaur, it's a reptile. It's a marine reptile. Es un reptil marino. It swims out of the box towards us. This time, it's called Mosasaurus. I'm sure many of you had already recognized it. Also, I love the figure because if you press on the back, it's a finger biter. Ah! I need help! It's biting my finger! If we open it, we can see the detail of its tongue and its teeth. As you can see, it had 4 large flippers. The front flippers were slightly wider than the back ones. This allowed them to swim at high speed. It also had a tail, although it wasn't very long. On this figure, we can also move it from right to left. Ah! The Mosasaurus fed on large prey that it found in the vast ocean. We'll leave it here so we can continue learning about new species. Here we have the first herbivorous dinosaur we've gotten. Also along with Parasaurolophus. This is one of my favorites. It's called Pachycephalosaurus. It was characterized by having a super hard skull. It's as if it had a helmet or armor on its head. As you can see, its skull was as hard as a rock, and it was also covered with large spikes on the back. This way, it could defend itself by charging hard. Bam! 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 To find out more about Pachycephalosaurus, let's take a look at the Book of Amazing Dinosaurs. exactly on pages 116 and 117, we have a lot of information about it. In the dino fact sheet, it specifies that it could reach about 8 meters in length and weighs about 2 tons, or in other words, about 2,000 kilos. It was omnivorous. It ate plants, fruits, but also some insects. In addition, we have a real photo of the complete fossil remains of a Pachycephalosaurus skull. We can see what the top part of its head looked like, observe the cavities where its eyes were located, and also see how its teeth were tiny, since it didn't need large teeth like carnivores do. It also tells us that it had very good eyesight, and that it lived approximately 66 million years ago, exactly during the Cretaceous period. And now let's continue with another specimen. Let's see which one we have. And look at this curious dinosaur. It's a dinosaur that, as you can see, had a long neck. It was one of the long-necked ones. It was quadrupedal. It walked on its 4 legs. And the best part is that at the bottom it tells us the scientific name. Its name is Amargasaurus. It also had a long tail, just like Diplodocus. I think it would also use it to defend itself, using it like a whip to hit its opponents. However, what stands out the most is the large crest of spikes, or mirror, that it had. It went from its head almost to the middle of its tail. And if you look at the top, it seems like the crest was divided into 2 parts. Very interesting, this figure is not articulated, it's made of plastic, of hard plastic. However, I really like it because of the details. We can even see its jaw, with some details of the teeth. You already know that it didn't need a very big jaw, since it only ate plants. It was a herbivore. Era herbívoro. Another one over here, and we continue with a different one. Another herbivorous dinosaur comes out of our box, and this one is very famous and well known, since throughout history, many fossil remains of the great Stegosaurus have been found. As you can see, what stands out the most is the large crest it had, full of bony plates. It used them to defend itself from predators, because if a carnivore came along, it was hard for it to bite, since these bony plates were protecting it. As you can see, they were bigger and taller in the central part, but they started from its head and went almost to the end of its tail, which ended in 4 large spikes that it used for defense. As you know, it would swing it from side to side to defend itself. Its head was very small compared to the rest of its body, and here comes the articulated figure. We can move the head and the legs. I like that, since we can put it in different positions. For example, when it needed to eat leaves from the branches of trees, it would put all its weight on its back end and climb up the trunk of the tree so it could eat. Very interesting. Right, friends? The Stegosaurus lived on planet Earth during the Jurassic period, more than 155 million years ago. Also, I really like the figure, especially because of its colors. Another one over here. And now we only have one figure left to see, but it's an impressive figure of a super predator. As you can see, this dinosaur is characterized by its large jaw full of teeth and the small horn it had on top. In addition, we can make special movements, and it lets out a great roar. Its front legs are also articulated, and we can rotate them 360 degrees. I really like that. Use these small legs to immobilize their prey or even to help them eat. This great carnivorous dinosaur is called Rajasaurus. We'll leave it here for now. And now, we've finished today's video. And as you can see, we've created a real Jurassic World, What I like most about having these figures is that we can create thousands of different stories. We just have to let our imagination run wild. Also, if you like this video, you can help me by giving me a super like, a thumbs up, and I invite you to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any videos. And now I'll say goodbye to you all. See you in the next video with more amazing dinosaurs. Goodbye, boss.